Τώρα, σειρά έχει ο κύριος Paolo Florian, Sales Engineer, McAfee, η οποία McAfee, όπως καλά γνωρίζουμε, είναι μέρος πλέον της Intel.
Yes.
Θα μας μιλήσει για Connected Security.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Thank you for your time. I will talk about our vision about security in this moment. First of all, let's start from our name. McAfee was acquired 4 years ago from Intel. We are a large company fully dedicated to security, about 8,000 people with 6 solutions in the Magic Quadrant, and we are the only one in this situation in the market. And in the vision of Intel has 3 pillars in this vision. One is green, connectivity, and security. And for that, they decided to acquire McAfee. And for the last year, we started the rebranding like Intel Security. That's why Intel, in all the past, defined a new standard, was one of the most innovative companies in the world, and now they want to imprint its name also in the security, and that's why we decided to change the name. They decided to change the name and go on this strategy, even if we stay focused fully on the security. Let's start on the actual situation, the sad situation. When you think about the organization, you think about security, you can rely that this kind of situation is quite simple. You have many different solutions there. You have many different security devices there that you need to manage. And it's not easy, definitely, because it's a side solution. Every solution is very good, but it's not able to talk with each other. And so you need to have a lot of cost to manage this kind of situation. You have a lot of cost of total cost of ownership. You don't manage to use exactly each solution, because each solution is very complex to be used correctly. And so when you have many of this kind of situation, it's very, very hard to do it. And McAfee is Intel Security is the only one that has a solution for all this kind of different area. It can talk to each other. It's very critical, because if you want to manage security is not only detection. Detection is one part, but security means manage the risk and be able to remediate. And if you have another from one side, and the other side, I need to remediate, I need to go to another group and say, okay, please apply this policy, please do it. As you can imagine, the time is very long, and so the remediation is not so effective. It's not good. For that reason, the McAfee in the 2001 start this vision, and all the solution in McAfee is manageable by one single console. And it's a great challenge compared to the market, because in one console we can manage all our solutions. We can collapse all the information there. Not enough, but a good point to start, to have all together all the information, and starting from there to understand what's happening in terms of security. Let's start advanced malware. We heard about it a few minutes ago. It's something very, very fancy at the moment. It's a new risk that we need to face at the moment. This one is the Gartner definition about this kind of risk, and it's very difficult to identify, to remediate, to fix, because it's not something that we know. A standard product can work in this space. They can't, because we don't have a signature, we don't have a pattern, we don't have anything that can detect this kind of threat. And what's happened is that we managed to detect it after the fact. And it's a big issue, because in some cases we have in internet some story about very big data loss in this case, and that's a big issue. And so we need to be able to manage our security, to take all the clue from different kind of solution in our organization, get together and be able to remediate easily. That's our scope where we need to focus on. This one is the portfolio of McAfee, Intel Security. As you can see, no one in the market is so large in this portfolio, because we have a solution that's starting from endpoint, we come from there, and we can cover everything from the ATM with a specific solution dedicated to ATM that some vendors sell in OEM. When you talk about ATM, you say, okay, I don't have anything. Most of the bank is not so clear that it's one of the points, very, very simple. Data centers, cloud, because now when we talk about data center, maybe it's not there, but it's in the cloud, so we need to protect there. And we need to be flexible to protect this kind of situation in different kinds of different environment. content security, email, web, data loss prevention, everything we need to do to protect our data around the network and our people that go around when going around in the internet. And security management and network. As you can see, we have multiple solutions, but we can manage all these solutions from one single console. And that means that my total cost of ownership is very, very low. I don't need to have a lot of experts, but from the same console, I need to consolidate the data. Let's think about one basic thing. When I talk about, I see an APS, one SQL injection, okay, I can see it. I don't know, maybe if I have a vulnerability scanner for the other side, I don't know if it's applicable, this kind of exploit that I saw in the network, and I don't know if on the endpoint or on the database in that case, if there is a database or if there is, or it's patched. So in McAfee, all this consolidation information is doing by themselves. We don't need anything to do it. And so we are able to decrease the number of alerts that it creates, this kind of noise in the network. Because we need to be focused on the very important stuff, not only on the few alerts that we got from the network. Let's think about it's not enough to have a Unix console. Let's think about a simple thing. When I touch something with my hands, that is very, very hot, it burns my hands. And all my body knows it. I don't need to go with the other hands to go there, touch again this kind of stuff to understand that it's hot. Because my body exchanges information to all my, everywhere. That's something that we need to know, we manage to know now. And we created the data exchange layer, a new layer where from one part for every part of McAfee strategy, we can provide a feedback and say, hey guys, this is probably a malicious code, and block it, not only maybe on the endpoint, but also on the network, maybe on the database. Maybe you have a lot of information about this small piece of code because you try to connect to an IP address with a user, maybe with some other characteristic, and this characteristic is shared in real time all over my network. And it's key because if you are able to identify, after that we need to go on different kind of remediation, we need to involve different kind of group. It takes time, and from when we have the alert from one console and when we remediate, it takes a lot of time. Our vision is that if you have this, with this kind of layer, we can distribute this policy in 1 second with one click to all over our solution. That is the key. And that means that from the endpoint, this kind of strategy can start from the endpoint. We talk about APT, some kind of approach time for network. Okay, I detect for network a botnet, I detect for network a file, good, but my PC is at home sometimes. I have a mobile that is not part of my network, doesn't use my device to go in the internet. And maybe I'm using my Gmail box to download something, and again, I'm using my PC. And I can start this process from my laptop, from my client, from my server, from my network. Everything can detect something, can submit automatically onto a sandbox for additional analysis with this kind of file, or on the endpoint can detect some strange behavior. If I'm trying to open a connection, or maybe I'm trying to add a register key in some part, or I install a DLL in my system, that could be something that I need to know. In this case, I can share information in my console, I can see it easily, I can submit easily in a sandbox, get a repo and say, okay, block it. And not block only on this system, but block on all systems. One of the issues of APT in this case is that I can detect one IP, good, I can go there, but the time that it takes to detect it, I go on this PC, maybe this risk is moved to other system. In this case, we manage also the endpoint, and we can create a process, not only identification, so a process that starts from each part of our network, can submit information, share information, and block this kind of risk everywhere with one click. That's an amazing difference if you think about it, because, okay, you have an APT, you got a report. Happy for you. going your network. In this case, you can apply a policy immediately to your network and be able to block this kind of risk that you are aware of. And it's very important because we are not talking about security like a simple, let's say, detection or some different product, but we managed to link all the solutions, share information, and it's very, very important in our case because this is the difference. Because we manage all the strategy or remediation of security threats from the find and so collecting data everywhere. Third party also, I mean, for example, VirusTotal, quite easy. Everyone, when I got some virus, say, okay, maybe my antivirus is not working, let's go and VirusTotal what's happened and what they say the other one. I can do it in my console now. I can do it automatically. And I can, from the feedback that I got there, even if my antivirus is not cleaning it, I say, okay, block it because I saw that the other vendor is doing it. They detect like the virus, so block it from my console. And so from the finding, with all the solution that Intel Security has, I can submit to the sandbox, can collect data from the external source, IOC, VirusTotal, and other is coming the next. And after that, I can remediate it with a click. And again, after that, I can with CM go back and see what's happened in the past. Because now I identify that there is a risk linked to my client with that IP address, with that IP, with that file. But what I can do is say, okay, CM, say to me what other client of my network contact this IP in the past, what's happened there, and so I can go and make a forensic analysis to understand if the risk are real, if what's happening in the other situation, and going deep more than what I have now. So not only a detection and a good report, but the idea is just to create a process that can manage security, because security is an issue in some case, it's cost a lot, but we protect great information at the company, and it's important that we manage to protect this information, but we do it easily, and we create a process inside our organization to find, freeze, and remediate all this kind of threats and be sure in our organization. Thank you.